Now, City TV 19 presents Senior Moments.
Hello everyone, I'm Linda Brayman. Thanksgiving activities are behind us and now the rush toward Christmas begins. Busy days are right around the corner, but don't work too hard. Take a break once in a while and watch Senior Moments. Senior Moments covers events and activities at senior centers in the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area, such as the Ann Arbor Senior Center, Turner Senior Resource Center, the Pittsfield Senior Center, the Ypsilanti Senior Center, and the Ann Arbor Community Center. Also, the show provides valuable information for senior citizens on such issues as health, wealth, finance, and entertainment. The program premieres on the last Sunday of the month with the reruns on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., Saturdays at 9 a.m., and Sundays at 5 p.m. on City TV, Channel 19 for a month. It may be too cold to go outside in December, so you'll need some ideas for indoor activities. This Senior Moments show is just the thing to provide you with useful tips for what you can do when you can't get outside.
Photography is one of the very popular pastimes. People like to shoot portraits, historical buildings, classic cars, you name it. And nature photography is probably the most common category. And we see many seniors love to travel around and take nature photos. Today's guest, Dr. Kurt Hillig, a retired chemistry professor, is one of those people. He now enjoys his retirement life taking nature photos all over the country. And the Ann Arbor Senior Center is going to exhibit his photos at the center in this winter. Thank you for coming, Dr. Hillig.
Thank you
Now,
for having me.
before we do anything else, would you please tell us something about your background and where you grew up and how you came to be in Ann Arbor?
Well, I was born near Schenectady, New York, where my folks went after they graduated from the University of Michigan, where they both got their PhDs in chemistry. My father worked at the GE Research Lab for his professional career. So I grew up in a scientific family. I've been reading Scientific American since I could read every month.
That was a good magazine. I used to have a subscription to
Oh,
that
yeah.
one too. So, it's, what kind of activities really brought you into photography itself?
A large part of it, I think, is just liking to be out in nature and to slow down and to actually pay attention to the world around and see what's really out there. I see a lot of people who are always in a hurry and seem to miss a lot of the really beautiful stuff in the world. And I try to capture it so that I can show it to people and so I can remember those moments again in the future.
Well, we share an awful lot of the same kind of ideas. But what kind of pictures give you the most pleasure when you take them?
Oh, that's really hard to say. Probably the things I've focused on the most have been the little things out in my backfield. The little frogs, the dragonflies, butterflies, the other little bugs, the tiny world, the things that you really, that's really a challenge to see unless you're willing to sit out there for a while and take your binoculars or a telescope or a magnifying glass.
Do you use telescope much?
I'm an amateur astronomer, amateur geologist. You know, I like everything.
I'm sure you do. You mentioned something about most of your stuff in the backyard. Have you traveled around the world a bit to take pictures?
I've done quite a bit of traveling, mostly as vacation travel, not specifically to take pictures. Although we've been on a number of, several sort of photo-oriented cruises with Lindblad Expeditions, if people are familiar with them.
Well, you have a variety of things here, and you've got some beautiful things that look here. They're ranging from small scenery, etc. Can you tell us a little bit about these photos that you've got here?
Okay. Well, I'll start with the damselfly over here. Damselflies, the largest ones are about the size of a toothpick. The smallest ones are maybe half that. So they're a challenge to see. They hide in the grass for the most part. They're also pretty aggressive predators. Yeah, they're carnivores.
I hadn't thought about that.
They'll go after mosquitoes and leafhoppers and other small insects like that. And they are amazingly colorful.
It seems to me I've seen them with dark blue.
They've got blues, greens, reds. There are a variety that have dark colored wings. There are the spread wings. This is an emerald spread wing here, and I hope you folks can all see the green and blue color in it. What I found interesting is if you can see the little red spots on it, those are parasites.
Oh,
Those are tiny little mites, maybe 32nd of an inch across, that live in the water, latch
kind of
onto
like a
the
little
larvae.
tiny red spider.
Tiny, like a little tiny red spider. And you frequently see them with these parasites on them. And it's really quite surprising that something that small and delicate can carry around, 2 dozen or 3 dozen of these mites and still be able to survive.
And I've noticed you're going from the very small to the very large. You got a beautiful, it's a, where is that glacier? Where is that glacier?
That is the Dawes Glacier up in Alaska in one of the fjords.
I think I've seen it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And this is a place where I've been able to sort of combine some of the new technology with the photography. This is actually a composite of, if I remember right, 8 photographs that I've digitally stitched together.
Wow.
So if I were to actually print this at full resolution, it would fill my wall.
Ansel Adams got competition, I think.
Yep.
Now this one over here, this guy looks kind of peculiar. You've got to have gone somewhere besides the United States to get him, or her, whichever it is.
Yes, we were lucky enough several years ago to be able to take a trip to Tanzania. And this is a blue monkey. This is really, of all the pictures I've ever taken, I think this is still my favorite. To me, it has that sort of Mona Lisa look of calmness, sort of happy, sort of sad.
Seems to be very expressive.
Seems to be very expressive. The monkey was just sitting in the shade, sitting in a tree. Occasionally it would pluck a leaf and bring it up and eat it and sit there. Something I hadn't realized until just recently is some recent research on animal aggression. It turns out blue monkeys are very aggressive against their own species. That this very calm, sedate, serene
So it's rather
looking
deceptive.
individual, yeah.
Rather deceptive. Now
Yeah.
I understand you're going to have an exhibit at the Senior Center in Ann Arbor. Why don't you enlighten
Yes.
us a little bit about what that event and what's happening?
Well, it turns out my next door neighbor is an artist and was involved with the Ann Arbor Parks art program. And she knew that I was a photographer, and I haven't really exhibited much. I've done it mostly for myself so far, but she kind of twisted my arm a little and got me to apply. And so I've got about 40 photographs that I will be showing. I'll be hanging them up in late November. I believe the formal opening is in December, and it'll be there for a couple of months.
Be worthwhile. It'd be very worthwhile getting in to see.
Yeah, and there'll be a range of things. I'll have more of my dragonfly and damselfly photographs. I won't quite cover all of the 20-odd species I've been able to document in my backyard so far, but I'll have a fair number. I've got some rock and mineral specimens that I've done. I've got photos from the Galapagos, from Alaska, from Africa,
From various places around the world.
all the various places that I've been able to go.
Before we finish, is there anything that you might want to mention that we might have overlooked so far? You have traveled around the world. You've been on several continents.
I've been very fortunate in having, let's say, a well-to-do father-in-law who's taken the family on a lot of trips.
You've been very lucky.
I've been very lucky.
Well, I want to
I
thank
think,
you.
yeah, the one thing I guess I'd want to say is for people who are interested in nature and wildlife photography, there are, those dramatic moments that everybody wants to get. And usually to get them, you might spend days or weeks waiting for just the right shot.
Just the right shot. I
And
understand
most
what you
of us
mean.
most of us can't afford to do that. But if you take the pictures of what is there and start looking at the detail, you may find that you've got some really good stuff. Even if it's not National Geographic quality, it may still,
Do
bring
something very,
tears
very
to your
interesting.
eyes like this one does for me.
Well, thank you very much. And today we have been with Kurt Hillig. He's an outstanding photographer here in the Ann Arbor area. So look for pictures around you. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
This is the 10th annual CJ Senior Prom, and it's the Masquerade Ball. So we've supplied masks, hats, bling bling, black tie affair. When they think of senior prom, they think of high school, and it's not high school. And it's something so much more, and it's beautiful.
I think it's a lot of fun and beautifully done.
This is lovely. We've never been before.
This is the second time I've been here.
This is the fourth or fifth time we've been here.
We come here every year and you can't keep us away.
And when I first started, it was a small prom, and over 10 years, it has grown into a black tie affair where we get to dress up. We get to wear fine jewelry. We get to feel and look pretty and dance the night away.
I'm supposed to be a 1920s flapper.
I'm Zorro, and she is a princess from the West.
I'm the gangster's lady.
I'm just hiding behind the mask.
And a good time, a band. Barry Manilow is here live.
So far, it looks wonderful and the music sounds great.
We have.
Yep,
We
he's
have indeed.
taking ibuprofen as we speak.
안녕하십니까? 우리 정말 즐겁습니다. Believe Bulikalo. Then put on the Melisu. In English?
In English?
I don't know how to speak English.
And our king and queen from last year is here to pass on the crown. Kind of excited to see who this year's king and queen is. Don and Ira Majeski is our 2016 king and queen.
About 4 years. Yep. She picked me up hitchhiking.
Well, it's about 45 years.
We've been married 57 years. We were together 5 years before that.
That's forever.
Just appreciate all the effort everybody's doing. It's a beautiful location, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. A lot of our friends are here.
We're thinking of changing the name from CJ Senior to something different, because as the baby boomers progress, we're not senior citizens. We're alive, we're active. So we're looking for a new name to make it vibrant and come back to life. So for the next 10 years, we keep bringing more and more people back to this prom.
Thank you for joining us on Senior Moments. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Linda Brayman. Happy holidays!